ASL Prime League.
Prime League Legacy of the Void Beta. Here we are, Group A of the round of 16, Game 1 of Match 1. Top left-hand corner of Terraform, representing Canada, and representing, I believe, Storm Gaming. It is the Canadian Zerg, NoRegreT. And his opponent, also hailing from the illustrious Canada, from Team Gravity, it is Semper. Like I was saying, I'm really curious to see how this matchup is going to go down. We've seen relatively little, really zero ZVT from NoRegreT, but he has really shown out some stylish, cool builds and really made himself a niche and a unique player in Legacy of the Void. Well, his opponent Semper, like I was saying, easily just 2-0ing all his Zerg opponents in the round of 32, really showing off his stuff that he's been playing and is really, really talented in that TvZ matchup. So I'm curious to see how these players will butt heads and how that will really go down. We do see not even a natural base yet for NoRegreT. As you can see, it's pretty much past that time. And Metabolic Boost only 1 into gas, maybe providing a little bit of wiggle room at least for NoRegreT to move into Banelings if he needs to, but there will be a very quick Ling pool. I think probably 12-13 pool, was not quite paying attention there, but that's one thing you got to do in Legacy of the Void really early on. You got to be really careful. See NoRegreT mine up to 20 gas, not sure what he wants to do with that, not enough for a Baneling Nest, but for now, NoRegreT moving out across the map. At the moment, there are 8 Lings on the map, which can be pretty scary to deal with, especially when you literally are only starting Reapers now. These Lings will start to be able to do a little bit of damage. Sadly, it's not going to quite be enough to start to pull SCVs, or they may get an SCV kill here, albeit, but it's not enough where your opponent has literally nothing at home and it forces SCVs to repair. Yes, 1 SCV will be here. Actually, 2 will repair just to make sure that reactor is not killed, but Reapers should be out, and honestly, majority of this aggression is going to be stopped once these Reapers come out. I like the CC from Semper. We do see, though, NoRegreT easily spots it. Metabolic Boost is only 6 seconds away. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, but, I mean, I like the pressure from NoRegreT. It really had the option to punish a CC first or any sort of greedy build, but Semper, right off the bat, was going into that Rax, going into the reactor. I think he added on the reactor when he scouted, but he scouted pretty early nonetheless, so this is a very nice move from NoRegreT to punish the CC first, but now he's going to try to do it again. These Reapers of Semper may be able to spot it if they go up into that high ground position in top right. We see 4 Banelings morphing in for NoRegreT, and there are so many Lings here, actually 5, perfect. That will be just enough to break through the supply depots, especially when they're on no health. But the 4 Reapers, if they can kite those Banelings, that is all important what they need to do. The Lings may be able to get us around. 2 of these Reapers are in the back. 2 Reapers will get up to the top, but half the force is already destroyed by Semper. Thankfully enough, he does have a reactor on that, and he's getting, like 900 minerals a minute from a fully saturated main plus extractor, so he should be able to produce if he can survive for the next couple seconds here. Baneling's coming up. None have been sniped so far. Oh, I love the KD8 charge, but not quite enough to actually kill him. He will push them back. A couple more KD8 charges could be good, but bunker and reactor goes down. It's only going to be 1 Reaper at a time. There are 2 racks in the main of Semper, but they are producing nothing, and the SCVs are being pulled to try to kill this. Remember, currently there are actually only 7 Lings left here. No Banelings were allowed to get into the SCV line to actually start killing anything, and the SCVs will go back to work, only losing 3 workers. And honestly, even though Semper has not been able to attain his 3rd, yes, he doesn't have a factory for the Metavacs, but 3 racks in this state of the game where all the larvae, everything has gone into Lings. At the moment, Semper only has 14 drones. I'm a little bit afraid for the 3 racks counterattack, as long as Semper can just get an SCV to that supply depot, but NoRegreT, he knows this. He knows he's down, and he is actually joining off the back of this. There's not going to be another push, but for now, these couple Lings heading across the map need to deny the natural base of Semper, but I don't think they will be able to with these Reapers. Maybe deny it for 10-15 seconds, but as soon as the Reapers start to kite those Lings, they'll be okay, especially with racks in the main base and all the KD8 charges. They will deny actually any damage to that natural base. I like that idea. A little bit like force fields, just kind of subtly pushing your opponent off. If they are aggressive into the natural, you can stop them from doing that or be the clutch save of your base. NoRegreT, off the back of this, he's just trying to get drones up, attempting to get that natural base saturated, but as you guys just saw, and as Semper just scanned, only now is the Queen actually at that natural base. The production of NoRegreT is only starting at the 5-minute mark, where normally that natural base in ZVT, it honestly comes down with a hatch first, or not quite as aggressive as he's showing. And you get it at somewhere between them 1 minute and 1 minute 30, 1.5 minute mark. So for now, it's so delayed. Yes, damage has been done. He's actually going to pick up 2 Reapers here, which is beautiful, really denying any scouting from Semper. But in the end, that push only killed 5 workers from NoRegreT, and he's gonna try to repost off the back of this, morphing in a lot more banelings this time. Hopefully, maybe he'll be able to get a baneling in the SCV line of Semper, but we'll have to see how that goes down. Semper has an interesting wall. Not really 100% sure how that's going down with his wall, but it actually is pretty cool. Maybe something later in the game you can see ultras. You always see cool SimCities, but we'll have to see how this SimCity deals with it. And there, banelings get through. Still 4 banelings are alive. SCVs are being pulled around to try to heal this bunker, but the Marines will all be taken down. There's still the bunker, but only 2 Marines inside of that. Lings will actually get up into the high ground. Supply depots don't come up, and these 2 Marines will do 0 damage. The SCVs need to be pulled. It need to be a little bit like the Zealots and the Protoss army to start just pushing back the Ling force as the ranged units can actually start firing on to these onto these Lings. They will be cleaned up in the main, but 15, 17 workers killed, and the Lings are still alive. SCVs are still for their lives, but the Marines are not being rallied properly. Guys, remember, Stim is on the way, about 2/3 done, but it's still not quite there. +1 also coming for Semper to try to fight back, try to make his own push, but this entire game, the entire pace has been dictated by NoRegreT, and he knows if he can just push a little bit more, maybe he can make it, but he's not been given enough time to actually morph any banelings. It does not matter, though, because there is not a wall. SCV is still again being pulled as the bunker in the natural base, but the wall in the main, that supply depot, is just not coming up. The Marines, it's just allowing the Marines to try to get to the low ground, but it's not enough. The Lings again get into the main. So far we've seen NoRegreT actually be able to kill 25 workers, maybe not the early damage. And oh, if you'd have been able to cancel its stim, that would have been fantastic. But for now, the Lings just trying to buy time in the main base because more Lings are streaming into the natural base, and all the Marines, literally, all the Marines are in the main. There is 0 in the natural base. That is where the 3rd CC is, and honestly, that 3rd CC is really nice for NoRegreT to scout. He knows that Semper off the back of that was just planning on going into an economic kind of state, not really completely planning to do a push, but now he's got to be really careful. Not all these banelings are warped in, and boom, all of them canceled. +1, or yeah, his +1 attack is just a couple seconds away. As you can see, Semper solidifying really his just kind of hold into the mid-game. Combat shield's coming down, but he's got to be really careful. At the moment, yes, he's at 21 workers. Great, he's got mules, but his Zerg opponent, who is not investing anything into the mid-game, just keeping how he is on only 19 workers, so they're not too far apart. One thing though, NoRegreT is mining 0 gas at the moment, so these Lings he have is all he has. Really interesting enough, Lings, and actually, oh, there's more banelings heading across the map. A lot of banelings. Currently 9 out on the map, and for now, NoRegreT, he can keep pushing at this, but guys, there's a bunker not quite down. The bunker's only going to finish now, but it's so far away. These Lings can actually start to work on that 3rd CC in relative safety from that bunker, but for now, it doesn't matter. Banelings coming in, going for that supply depot, but only requires 5, and they will get straight through their Lings, piling on in again. Currently, 27 Lings out of the map, 9 Marines, 2 medevacs, and the medevac's enough with that bunker. Bunker will go down, but this time, supply depot, oh, is it going to... Doesn't quite matter if the supply depot goes up. Marines fighting from the high ground will be able to kill these workers, or will be able to kill the Lings, but still more workers are dying. 14 more Lings on the way off the back of this, but even though Semper has lost so much, just barely, by barely, he's clawing his way forward. He's got stim, he's got combat shields, he's got +1, just a couple of, sorry, +0-1, which technically will be his +1-1. In just a couple seconds, will be finished, and NoRegreT, he can keep pushing, but literally no gas being mined, or there's the gas being mined for NoRegreT, but nothing off the back of this. It's just endless baneling push, and now that the 3rd CC is done, I mean, Semper just needs maybe a bunker, maybe a couple extra, but now that he's got combat shields and he's got stim, the banelings will not one-shot his will not one-shot his Marines if he doesn't stim, but he's got to be so careful. He will pick off that little force, and it's key right now for Semper to start picking off those banelings before they move in, but NoRegreT could not quite take it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ASL Season 5, Prime League Legacy of the Void Beta. Here we are in the round of 16, Group A, Game 2 of the first match of the night. But for our Zerg player on the left-hand side, representing Canada and Psystorm Gaming, it could possibly be his last. In the left-hand corner of Bridgehead, we have NoRegreT, currently down 1 game in this best of 3. and his opponent one game away from the round of 16. It is the Canadian Terran player representing Team Gravity. Guys, put your hands together for Semper. Albeit with two players, both of them will move on no matter what the situation that happens in this game. If the other two players in this group, the Polish Zerg player Tefel, and then I believe Arthur, our lovely Korean Protoss, would show up, it would not quite be the same. But for now, it is not going to. It's not going to be that only two players out. NoRegreT starting off with a quick 3 base, not actually 3 hatch before pool, nothing of the sort. Actually, I take that back, it is 3 hatch before pool, just with an extractor kind of halfway through. But this is a very well timed out build from NoRegreT, I'm guessing, and as it looks like the timing from this extractor, he will have enough for metabolic boost to try to compensate for what he's doing. But Bridgehead definitely is a quite viable map to take that 3rd hatch on quickly. Again, though, you can always force out an early SCV, which Semper here was able to. He scouts it and is playing off the same way he did before. Actually, I take that back. He does not make double Reaper. He goes into double Marine play. So, it's an interesting choice earlier on. I feel like the Reapers definitely can do a decent amount of damage, but there to be, it'd actually be a bunker for Semper. I'm curious the difference between Reaper and Marine damage. I should know that off the top of my head, Drenok. But for now, though, doesn't really matter because it will be Marines from Semper, and making that decision off the back of this. Semper himself is on 2 base. Neither of these players are going low economy, but there the bunker is scouted by NoRegreT, and yes, he's got metabolic boost on the way, but only 2 lings. By the time the Marines get across the map, they will be able to deny these first 2 lings. It's going to be up to the Queens to do something about this, but already 1 bunker is down. Yes, the lings are on the way, but that SCV, the player, Semper, can easily hit T, make that SCV stop working on the bunker, pull back, and Marines should be able to save it. We'll see. For now, actually, it will be in the most perfect position ever. Like, beautiful to hold this. Guys, just note, top left, off the back of this, NoRegreT is droning. He does not think this is the aggression coming down. Range 6 from that bunker will be achieved once the Marines get inside there, and they're going to start being able to hail away on that third base. They do get the Overlord there. Beautiful pickup. Won't quite actually supply block NoRegreT for now, but, I mean, Semper just playing this beautifully. I'm wondering if he's going to finish the second bunker. I guess he will. There is 2 ways out of the main base of NoRegreT here, but I mean the easiest way, actually technically 3 ways if you count the left-hand side. But here, we'll see NoRegreT try to break this, or maybe he'll just run by it. He will run by it, but it's going to run into Hellions on the other side of the map, and Semper does pull back with that 1 Hellion. A Liberator also coming out, and honestly, Semper has put himself into a fantastic position. Maybe 2 bunkers was a little too much, but I think Semper is still in a great position here. Finally, metabolic boost kicks in, and this third base, I don't think it's going to survive. These Marines, if they focus down the hatch, they will be able to kill it, but it's not actually going to be what we see happen here. Both go down. The third base is not destroyed, and honestly, the droning of NoRegreT was fantastic. He droned off the back of that aggression into these lings now. Baneling Nest on the way. He's going to be able to push. And this is going to be very scary for Semper. Yes, he's got the Liberator out. Maybe kill an Overlord is probably the optimal way. Snipe Banelings really, but we'll have to see. There's enough Hellions here to deny anything moving up that ramp into the supply depots. That Liberator on the top is moving out. Ling's pulling back, but they will not be able to do anything about the Liberator, sadly. But I like this move. If it was, let's say, a Roach push, that was NoRegreT's compensation for this quick 3 hatch, then the Liberator would be amazing. 2 shots Roaches. But in this case, I think it's 2 shots, maybe it's 3 shots. But in this case, either kill Overlords or park yourself in a perfect spot back in the back of the base, and that Queen will go down. Oh! Yep, will go down. Got to be wary of that line. It's not quite perfect, but sadly, only locks down 3 minerals. We get into a better position, and still, I mean, it's denying any mining in this natural base. Off the back of this, looks like NoRegreT maybe is going to go into Muta's Roaches. We'll have to see. It looks a little bit like Muta's to deal with this, but we'll have to see how that pans out. The Liberator will be able to deny that mining, and I mean, it's still trying to get that. And remember, Spore Crawlers, their range actually, I think it's also 6. Let me see when it finishes here. Doesn't matter, I'll never be able to see it, but the Liberator can indefinitely go back and forth is pretty much what I'm saying. Now another Liberator will hit that third base, and it will spot those 2 gases. Let me double check if it spots both those gases. Yes, it only spots 1, but it's fishy for NoRegreT. I'd love to see him move into the main. Check that, not NoRegreT. It looks fishy for Semper looking at the base. I'd love to see him move into the main and scout. There's the Spire going down, but there's already Liberators out on the map. Yes, the Mutas can kind of kite Liberators like they might Thors, do the magic box and stuff, but for now, Semper is done a lot of economic damage, not only killing 8 workers, but really just hindering all the income, and we see the beautiful micro. Back at home in Semper's base on the right-hand side, I mean, he's already got, how many Hellions, man? That's a lot of Hellions. He's got 12 Hellions up. Oh, the Liberator get away. The Liberator does get away. Just going to keep doing that. There's the Spire, by the way. And now the Liberator will scout that in the main. Currently, there are 3 Liberators out for Semper, just trying to do as much damage as he can. But like I was saying, I mean, Stim is on the way. There's 12 Hellions out, 2 Engineering Bays. Really, off the back of this, Semper is taking a fantastic opportunity to build the perfect bio army that he wants. He scouts that Spire, and he's already got 3 Liberators out. Realistically, he just pulls back onto bases, which actually is moving out now. We do see that pack of Hellions at the moment, albeit only 5 Marines out, but Stim, I'm guessing +1. There's +1. Maybe +1 will be on the way, and this looks like it's going to be a scary push, especially with a 3rd base. Semper, or just Terrans in general, and Legacy of the Void, have been opting for that 3rd base. There was the Armory, as you can obviously see. Hellbat's coming out. No upgrades quite yet, but combined with the Liberators, they will be able to sack this 3rd base. All the drones are going to be evacuated, and that hatch really early on, taking damage from the bunkers, will be destroyed. And guys, note 2 extractors are at that hatch, so that is literally half the gas income. At the moment, NoRegreT has 0 gas income. 3 mutas will be coming out, but I don't think that's going to even be remotely enough as long as these Liberators aren't idiots here. As you see, 30 workers have been killed at the moment. NoRegreT is only at, he's actually at 34 workers, is still pretty good, but still they are all mining at the natural. There's only 1 base economy. The Hellbats will be able to kill these queens, most likely. Yes, the mutas are there, but if the Liberators are pulled to do some damage, they should be fine to be able to shut this down. And there's the GG. Semper takes game 2, going 2-0.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.